Assalamu alaikum students, your instructor Abdul Rafi here for mathematics and accounting. So today our topic is going to be for IGCSE Mathematics 0580 and we'll be solving topical past papers of 2021 all variants, that is May, June, October, November, February, March, paper 2 questions only of the sequences chapter. Okay, students need to know that there are different types of sequences. There is linear sequence, there is a quadratic sequence as well, there is cubic sequences as well, there is geometric sequence that you can be tested on. Also there is the other types of sequences which don't have a name as well. So we are going to solve at least as many questions possible, so that students understand how do you apply in a question of past paper with all the formulas and the knowledge I'm going to give you, students. Okay, so let's start with question number 10 of this past paper, that is October November 2021, paper 2 and variant 3. You can read it from the top. Okay, these are the first four terms of a sequence. Okay, so these are the first four terms of a sequence. Once you read the sequence, you will understand that there is a common difference between them. Okay, so 3, then -1, then -5. So make sure always first try to establish a connection, students. So here we go. So when I subtract 3 minus 4, I am going to get -1. Make sure you have a calculator as well. When you are going to subtract -1 minus 4, you are going to get -5. And when you are going to subtract -5 and -4, you are going to get -9. So always remember, students, when you have a common difference, okay, when you have a common difference, it is going to be the linear sequence or arithmetic sequence. Okay, so hope everyone gets this. This is going to be the common difference that stands for D. Okay, this is basically will be called a linear sequence. Okay, hope students are getting it. In IGCSE Mathematics 0580, this will be called a linear sequence, students, where you have a common difference where the next term can be determined by the previous terms. Okay, where the next term can be determined by the previous terms. So it's very simple. First mark, 1 mark question in paper 2, find the next term in this sequence. If you have to find the next term in this sequence, students, it will be simple that you are going to say that -9 in plus minus -4, so I'm going to get -13. So the answer is, students, here is -13. Okay, so hope everyone gets this, that you have to again do the same thing what you were doing here. -9 -4 will give me -13, students. Okay, just like -1 and -4, when you add them with the negative sign, they will give us -5. So the answer comes out, students, as -13. Okay, hope everyone got the 1 mark question. When you have a linear sequence, you will have a common difference. That's how you will judge. Okay, students, next part for 2 marks is you have to find the end term. So we have a formula for this. Okay, students, linear sequence will always have a formula for this, so make sure everyone understands this formula. What is the formula? If you have to find the end term, students, always remember the formula is a plus n minus 1 times d. Okay, a plus n minus 1 times d, students, where a stands for the first term, okay, whatever the first term is, and d stands for common difference, and n is whatever value you will have to plug in, whatever the term value you have to find out. Okay, so students need to understand that these are only 4 terms. Okay, the question becomes complicated when they ask you to find the 100 term, right? Let's say that this is very simple. Anyone can judge at the moment that from 3 -1 -5 -9, it will be -13, -17, -21, and it will go on. Okay, this is the 5th term, this is the 4th term, this is the 6th term, sir, this is the 7th term. But you can go on till some point. Okay, but what about finding the 200 term? What about finding the 1000 term? Okay, what about finding different terms, values that are huge? Okay, where mathematical calculations will take a huge time, and that is why the formula helps you, students. The formula is there, that is a plus n minus 1 times d, which will help you understand about the linear sequence. Just have to apply this formula to get the value. Okay, so let's plug in Here we go. The first value, I'll mark it up here with the orange color. The a value is 3 and the common difference is -4. Okay, students, the common difference is -4 and the a value is 3. So here you go, sir, that I'm going to plug in the value. This is 3 plus n minus 1 times -4. Just simplify this. 3 times -4n plus +4, so 7 minus 4n is the answer. Okay, students, hope everyone gets this. 7 minus 4n is the negative answer, and that is how you will get all 2 marks for this part as well. Make sure students understand that you can apply and check as well. Okay, this is the term formula. Just apply any term and you can check whether your answer is correct or not as well. Okay, so let me try as well. Let me say that if I'm finding the third term, so the third term the answer should be coming -5. Okay, students, the third term, the answer should be coming -5. So here we go, 7 minus 4 times of 4 times of 3. So here you go, 7 minus 12, and you got 7 minus 12 is -5. So the answer is coming correct. Okay, when I plug in n as 3 value, you just have to plug in n as 3, you will get the answer as -5, students. So hope everyone is getting this. How do you find the term? The term will help you to find any value. Okay, any term in the sequence. Maybe if you want to find the 500 term, you want to find the 1000 term, 2000 term, this will give you the answer. Okay, so that is how we solve linear sequence. It is a basic sequence. A lot of time this question will be tested for the linear sequence. Okay, students, hope everyone gets this. We are going to solve, let's solve further more questions as well. Any questions can be asked in the comments section. Students, you need to practice a lot of sequences question to get better and familiar at it. So let's discuss another question of the same 2021 past papers. This is a February-March question, paper 2, variant 2. Again, we are only discussing paper 2 questions because we'll discuss paper 4 questions separately. Question number 14 is talks about sequences. These are the first 4 terms of a sequences. You read, that is 29, 22, 15, and 8. First thing, always the first step in a sequences question, you try to establish the common difference. If you are finding the common difference, let me know. Right, we are able to find a common difference here, and that is why we have to write down the next 2 terms here. And if we find out the common ratio, the common difference, if you find out, we are going to say that 29 minus 22 is 7. So we can say that it is basically the difference of 7. 22 minus 7 is 15, and 15 minus 7 is 8, right? Hope everyone gets this. So which means the next 2 terms will be 8 minus 7, that is 1, and 7 minus 1, 8 minus 7, that will be 1, and 1 minus 7 will be -6. Okay, so these are going to be the next 2 terms because that's what they're asking. Okay, students, and again we can judge from here that this is basically a linear sequence because of the reason, students, we have a common differencer. Okay, so here we go, linear sequence because of the common difference. So if you want to establish the n term relationship, you can do that as well for this question as well. Okay, so let me write it down. This is 29, 22, 15, and 8. So the next term is always subtracting 7 from it. So you will have to subtract 8 minus 7, you will get 1 as well, and then 1 minus 7, you will get -6 as the answer, students. Hope students are getting this, that based on the linear sequences, these are different type of questions that we can get. Moving forward to part number 2 of this question, that is part B. These are the first 5 terms of another sequence, that is 4, 7, 12, 19, and 28. Okay, so let's look at them and then establish what type of sequence is this. So again, we start off by working out that 4 and 7 will be +3. Okay, then 7 and 12 will be +5, and then 12 to go to 19, it will be +7, and 19 to 28 should be plus 9. Okay, let's make sure you have calculator to work this out. So 19 plus 9 leaves to 28. So students need to understand this is definitely not linear sequence. Okay, because in linear sequence you should be having a common difference. Okay, there is not a common difference, the difference is changing. So whenever this type of situation comes in, students, it means that this is going to be a quadratic sequence. Okay, this can be a quadratic sequence. And how will you judge that this is a quadratic sequencer? In order to judge that this is a quadratic sequence, understand the importance that the second difference is going to be constant. Between 3 and 5 the difference is 2, between 5 and 7 the difference is 2, between 7 and 9 the difference is 2. So always remember, students, in order to judge whether it's a quadratic sequence or not, you have to see the second constant difference. What is the second constant difference? If you find out that there is a second constant difference is same, then this means that this will be a quadratic sequence. Okay, hope students get this. So how does a quadratic sequence look like and what is the term for it? So let's discuss that now. So we have to find the end term for this. So here we go. Students need to understand the formula for quadratic sequence is an square plus bn plus c, because it's a quadratic sequence. So students need to understand clearly that the formula, the end term for a quadratic sequence will be an square plus bn plus c. Okay, so now you have to find the values of a, b and c, students. Okay, this will be very important to judge that how will you find out the values of a, b and c, students. So make sure there are formulas. Okay, there are formulas for this and let's work those formulas out. Okay, so the first formula is that you are going to say that a plus b plus c results in always the first term. Okay, so I'm writing it down. Whatever the value of a plus b plus c is, they will result in the first term, and in our case the first term is 4. If you get this explanation, you can solve all types of quadratic sequences, students. So a plus b plus c is going to be equals to 4, students, because this is the first formula, that a plus b plus c will always result in the first term. So first term in our case is the a value, that is going to be 4. Okay, students, hope everyone gets this, everyone is getting this lecture properly. The next thing is you judge that what about the second constant difference. Okay, so students need to understand that if you, this is the formula is that 2a equals to, this is another formula, that 2 times of a, which means the a value here, 2 times of a is going to be the second constant difference. Okay, the second constant difference, 2 times of a is going to be equals to the second constant difference, whatever the value is coming. So in this case, let me write down first the formula. 2a is going to be the second constant difference. Okay, second constant difference is 2a. So 2a is going to be equals to 2, which will result that the a value is 1. Okay, so the a value of the quadratic sequence, students, is equivalent to 1. So hope students get this as well, that a value is equivalent to 1, because this is the next thing, that is the 2a is equals to second constant difference. This is a formula as well. Similarly, just like we have formula a plus b plus c is equals to the first term, we have a formula 2a is equals to the second constant difference, so from which we find out that a value is 1. And the last formula will be that 3 times of a plus b. Okay, 3 times of a plus b is equivalent to the first term difference. Okay, whatever the first term difference is, let's make it with red. Whatever the first term difference is, students, the 3a plus b is equals to that. So we can write down 3a plus b is the first term difference, that is between the first 2 term difference. Okay, so here we go, 3a plus b is equivalent to 3, students. And now you can plug in the value to get the value. You already have the value of a here, so 3 ones are 3, and you subtract it, so b is coming 0, students. Hope everyone is getting it, sir, that b is coming 0. And again you come back to here and apply the formula here. A value is 1, b value is 0, so c value can be find out from here, students, by simultaneously solving. 1 will go there, 4 minus 1 is 3, so c value is also 3 here, students. That is how you are going to find out all the values of a, b and c. That is, a is 1, b is 0 and c is 3. And write down the answer here, that it will be 1n square plus 0n plus 3, which means will result in n square plus 3, that is the formula. Okay, so n square plus 3 is the term, formula is the n term, and this is our final answer, students. As I said, this can be checked as well. Just quickly check with one of the values. So let me just quickly check this for students understanding. This is the first term, this is second term, this is third term, fourth term, and fifth term. So we'll find out for the fifth term here. That fifth term will be 5 value, n value is 5 square plus 3, so 25 plus 3, students, is 28, which definitely leads to this answer, which means our term is correct, and that is how you solve the second quadratic sequence, students. So we got the answer as n square plus 3. So in this part up till now, you should be able to get the linear sequence and the quadratic sequence. How do you solve? A lot of questions are usually tested on linear sequence and the quadratic sequence, students. Make sure, students, that you remember these formulas, that how do you find the first term in the quadratic sequence. A plus b plus c is equals to the 4, the first term. 2a is equals to the second constant difference or the second difference, and 3a plus b is equals to first term. You will have to memorize these formulas, better to remember them, so you can get the question easily correct. Okay, so 3a plus b is the first term difference, that is plus 3 in our case. Okay, let's discuss another question. We have question number 6 from 2021 past papers, May June this time, paper 2 and variant 1. So in this, the first question, this question is again simple. Question number 6 part A, that is the n term of a sequence is n square plus 3n. Once you read this, understand this is a quadratic sequence, okay, because of the power of square. Okay, so this is a quadratic sequence. Okay, in this lecture is all about linear and quadratic sequence. Okay, so the n term of the sequence is n square plus 3n, and you have to find out the first 3 terms of this sequence. Okay, students, so how do you find out the sequences? That is very simple. First term will be, just plug in the value of n as 1 and you will get the answer. Okay, so 1 square, 1 plus 3, that will give us 4, so you write down the answer here as 4, students. Okay, second term will be 2 square plus 3 times of 2, so it will be 2 square is 4, 4 and 3 2s are 6, so 4 plus 6 is 10, so you write down 10 there as well. And the third term you will find out, it will be 3 square plus 3 times of 3, so it will be 3 3s are 9 and 3 square is also 9, so 9 plus 9 is going to be 18, right? Hope students are getting this. This is the answer for 2 marks of this question as well, part A, in which you have to write down just the sequences. So make sure these are very simple questions to get all the marks in the topical past papers. The next part of this is basically again the first 5 terms of our different sequences are given: 25, 18, 11, 4 and minus 3. You have to find the n term of this sequence. So again you have to give the formula, the n term. So you find out that 25, 18 is basically minus 7 difference. Let's see if 25 minus 18, yeah, minus 7 difference. 18 minus 7 is 11, 11 minus 7 will give me 4, and 4 minus 7 will give me negative 3, again which leads to the conclusion that this is linear sequence. So students need to understand, a lot of times they are asking you linear and the quadratic sequence. Okay, linear and the quadratic sequence is most common. So you'll say that the first term A is equals to 25, sir. Okay, just I have told you A is going to be 25 and D is the common difference, that is negative 7 here. Okay, so D is the common difference, that is negative 7 here, students. Okay, so A is 25 and D is minus 7. Once you get these two values, the first term is called A, so A is 25 and D is equals to negative 7. So you already know the term formula, that is, sir, A plus n minus 1 times D. Okay, A plus n minus 1 times D. So here we go, A is 25 plus n minus 1, D is negative 7. Here we go, we started the lecture with this, and this is how you're going to solve, simplify, and it will be 25 plus 7 minus 7n, so it will be 32 minus 7n, and this answer is correct with the marking scheme as well, that when you simplify 32 minus 7n, and as I always say that if the topic allows you to check the answer itself, make sure at the end of the exam paper just try to recheck this. Okay, so let's quickly recheck this. There is no need to show the working for this. It's just should be done in pencil on the last page, or you can just do in your mind or calculator as well. So again, this is the fifth term, right? Let's do fifth term. For the fifth term, let's check with the fifth term. So if the fifth term should be coming as -3, so if I'm plugging in 32 minus 7 times of 5, so here we go, 32 minus 7 5s is 35. The answer coming is -3. It is proved that our answer is correct. Okay, students, so make sure you don't have to show this, but it is proved. Okay, and why we use this, the reason for using this is very simple, sir. If you have been given a lot of huge terms to find out, 1000 term, 758 term, 657 term, so you can use this formula quickly and get the answer for the examiner. So that is how you do linear and quadratic sequence. Okay, make sure we discuss more sequences such as cubic sequences and geometric sequences and other sequences in another part of this lecture. Okay, thank you.